This is for the focus edition and the whole thing. So there are quite a few questions people have, and really speaking, nobody is giving a definitive answer. So there are misleading answers. People are just not sure. So I thought that really speaking, this we can have a session and clear all the confusion people might have related to this. So the first thing is, this is the email received from GMAT itself. So one thing is, we are not supposed to look at the score anymore, only the percentile. For example, if you were to look at last time score of 700, you will feel that, oh, I got 645. It is pretty low. So look at this from the GMAT only we are talking about. If you think your score looks low, do not worry. It's really, really different. So this is in fact the scoring. If you just get 725, it is equivalent to getting an 800 in the previous version of the exam. So be very clear about it. The exam has changed, and the only score that will matter is the percentile, and these scores will become meaningless. So let's understand by an actual score report. What did I say? 685 is 760. So there is a score report of a student who recently got a 685 score, which means got a 760 score. And this is designed by GMAT. This email has come from GMAT itself. You can very clearly see, and more on sending scores, mba.com. So all this very clearly. So we will not look at this column at all. So this is not an important thing to look at. This is not important. So this 805, this 685, all this, we will only look at what is 97th percentile in this case. That's it. So nobody is going to compare your previous score to new score, because this was the biggest confusion. People will feel that, oh, I'm going to score low, so why should I write this exam now that I'm going to score low? It is very, very clearly stated. 685 is a 760 equivalent. So we will not look at these scores at all. We'll only look at the percentiles. So very important thing. There are 3 sections now: quantitative, verbal, data. So we'll look at all of them as well in detail. This is the real score report of a student. So recently scored this. Let's see the basic report as to how this comes from some of the students. So if you look at in the quantitative section, there are 2 types of questions you will get essentially: algebra and arithmetic. Pure context means questions related to X, Y only, and real context means questions related to, let's say, real life situation, that Jack goes from town A to town B. That is a real life scenario. If the question is X greater than Y, that is a pure context scenario. So obviously 4 major topics. If you look at rates, ratio, percentage means arithmetic, value order factors is numbers, equal unequal algebra means inequalities and mods and some other parts of algebra, and this counting, sets, probability, stats. So all of this, permutations, combination, sets, series, probability, statistics. These are the standard types of things that will be asked. So once again, this score report will also give you the time that you're taking on this exam for each of the questions. So there are 21 questions, etc. We'll come to that. There's another feature that has been introduced, something that you must know about, is called review and edit. So you can mark all the questions in review, or as many as you want. Suppose you feel that, no, I'm not too sure about this answer, I'd like to come back. So you can mark and then you can edit. Let's say this person marked, let's say 3 questions were edited and incorrect to correct. That means initially this person would have just gone ahead. Maybe they were taking a lot of time, these questions, etc. All 3 eventually became correct. You can review as many as you want, but you can change only 3 answers. So this is another thing. Another, in verbal, you have only 2 areas: critical reasoning, reading comprehension. Within CR, you have 2 areas, and within RC, you have 2 areas. All this is obviously when you start preparing, but this is a very important thing. What will be this? And data insights, once again, you have math related and non-math related. 10 questions math related, 10 questions non-math. This is 20 questions. So I'm just trying to explain the whole thing to you, what all is going to come. So you have data sufficiency, which has been there on the GMAT, I think, for the last 40-45 years, because I wrote the GMAT in the year 1995 for the first time. I was 21 at that time. Then also it was there 27 years ago. And then even now. So data sufficiency, these elements were introduced 11 years ago. Please don't think that data insights is a new section. It was introduced 11 years ago. So graph table, multi-source 2-part was introduced 11 years ago. And we were the first company to start the training for the Focus edition. In fact, you would not believe, 6th of June, the content was released by GMAT that this is going to be the Focus edition. On 12th of June, we had a batch ready, and the entire portal also with 25 mock tests, 75 sectional tests, etc. So this is the very first company in the world, including the GMAT, that does not offer anything like this. So GMAT also has tied up with us for this reason, that they also don't have this level of content so very clearly. So no one, GMAT also has only 6 marks. We have 25, as I said. No, even if you combine all the other companies that are providing GMAT Focus Edition training, I'm not saying this out of any arrogance. I'm saying as truth. You can actually say no other company on the planet has anything even remotely close to this. Also, you can write one free diagnostic test on our mock test portal. So we'll get an idea about what your current standing is. This deck I'll share with you, and everything is here in detail, how you can write a mock test. Complete analysis will be given to you. So let's see on the actual exam what is happening right now. If you look at all the 20 questions in the section called data insights, because this is the biggest mystery people have, there are 5 types of questions. One is data sufficiency, one is 2-part analysis. Look at this table, 2-part. One is graph and table, and one is multi-source reasoning. Same types of questions are coming. 10 questions have the word math related written, and 10 questions have the word non-math related written here. So clearly understand that 10 questions are based on your quantitative skills and 10 questions are based on your verbal skills, something that we've been teaching for the last 11 years. So nothing new in this case. Just understand this very clearly and so on. So this is for the data insights part. Now I have a video of mine on YouTube, which was uploaded 11 years ago, which talks about all the question types of data insights, multi-source, table, graphs, 2 parts. So this is exactly what I was teaching even 11 years ago. So this is not a new thing. Some people think that this is some new section. Trust me, this is something that has existed on the GMAT for 11 plus years now. It was introduced, the whole section of data insights was introduced in the year 2012 in July. So since then I've been training. So this is really not something new. I'm saying this video was uploaded 11 years ago as it is written, and that in that video I've been talking about this. So please remember, this is not a new thing. Also about DI section, some observations are there. As of now, you will not need it. If you need this deck, I'll share with you. Then something else. In verbal, what is happening? Let's see. So you have 2 types of questions, critical reasoning and reading comprehension. One person got 9 questions of CR and 14 questions of RC. And one person got 13 questions of CR and 10 questions of RC. So we do not know which will be higher, CR or RC. For now, this is enough. This entire report I can share with you. This is from students who've written the exam recently. Also about the verbal section, there are some observations. Right now, they are not important because you've not started preparing. Those of you who want a much more detailed idea, this can be shared with you. In quant, you can see there are 2 types of questions, real and pure. Real means XY type only. There is no other thing. So this is, and pure means XY type. Real means situation. For example, speed, distance, profit, loss. These are actual situation that Jack goes in the market and sells his car for this much money. This is a real situation. So pure and real, almost the same number, 10, 11 or 11, 10 in some cases. 2 major topics, arithmetic and algebra. In that, these are the subtopics. So if you look at what all is asked, permutations and combinations, sets, series, AP, GP, and special sequences, probability, statistics, mean, median, range, standard deviation. Value means what is the value of X. All this is written here. I'm just explaining. So that is basic algebra. Order means indices. That is X raised to power 7, etc. Factors, number system, equal means inequality. All this is written here. That's why I'm explaining equal, for example. Unequal means inequalities. Algebra is obviously algebra here. Rates, what is written here? Rates, ratio, person. What is the meaning of rate? Time and work, time, speed and distance, ratio, etc. So the same thing standard. But how many questions are coming? So we have very detailed reports. If you want, we can share these with you completely. And there are some observations about the quant section. All I'm saying is on the very first day, I made 3 of my faculty members plus many of the students write this exam, and they have a lot to share. So we know every single thing, first in the world ever to really have all the information about the exam real time. So this will tell you that whatever is there, you have all the information if you want. I will not really take this because you may not have started preparing. So right now this may be too much for you, but this is an idea that critical reasoning may be more, RC may be more, algebra may be more, arithmetic may be more. You can have different types of questions and so on and so forth. So all of this is anyway captured very, very clearly. Just to give you an idea, I'd like you to solve one question so that you understand what the new GMAT is like. So let's see one question. Okay, this question that I'm showing actually appeared on the 7th November for one of the students. This in a way encapsulates all the three sections. So something about verbal, quant, and data insights, you'll get an idea. I'm giving you some time. Please mark your answer in the chat window. Let's see how you'll approach it. Let me see how many of you are able to answer. Please wait and mark. Don't think that, oh, it will just be discussed. If you are active with the discussion, it will be much better. So let's see. So very few answers have come, but I've already got all the 5 answers. It's very strange. I've got very few answers, but I've already got all the 5 answers, is what I'm saying. So that means there is something for you to pay attention to. Let's see. Yes, some of you are correct also, obviously, because you're giving all the 5 answers. Some of you must be definitely correct here. The right answer here is C, which is marked by very few students. Let's see. I'd like to really ask you to read what is written here because I can solve this all completely for you. But let's see what is written on the screen. Let's understand this argument. I said this is a representation of all the 3 sections. Why I said that 1.5 billion is a number. Please see, I'm saying the word number. Population is a number. Okay. Please understand each and everything that I'm saying. This is a number. Demand for meat is obviously an amount, number. Trillions of liters of methane is also a number or an amount. Majority is also a percentage, always more than 50%. Less methane is also a number or an amount. Okay. Total methane production is also an amount. Reduce significantly is for an amount. Please see how many hints the question is giving that it is a math related question given in verbal. So 1.5 billion is a number. Population is obviously the same number. Key pace, obviously, and demand is an amount. How much is the value, whatever, of demand. Trillions of liters is a number or an amount. Majority obviously means some percentage, more than 50%. Less methane is obviously an amount. Total methane production is an amount. and reduce significantly is an amount. So first thing is, if you're solving this question without thinking basic math, this will go wrong no matter how good your English. It's not at all a test of English. Now let's see what is asked is total methane production will reduce. You have to strengthen this argument. You are not supposed to infer the information. That means you're not supposed to, from the passage, what is the right answer? You're supposed to infer that. In that case, you're supposed to infer. In this case, you're supposed to assume that all these 5 options are true. Which one will strengthen the conclusion? So now my conclusion is total methane production would reduce. If I look at it, total methane production will be obviously methane per cow production into number of cows. Suppose I made these values bold so that it's clear. Total methane, suppose 10 cows are killed and each cow is giving 10 liters per cow. So in that case, we'll get 100 liters of methane. So now methane produced, suppose, used to be 10 liters. And suppose the number of cows killed 300. It's up to me whatever numbers I want to take. So 10 into 300 is 3000 liters of methane was produced earlier. Now, if they are given better quality diets, what is the condition for better quality diets? They produce less methane. It's directly written. Suppose less methane is they used to give 10 and now they are giving 5. Think about it very clearly. So methane will reduce. So 10 has become 5 here. If I look at option C, this says each cow that is given a better quality diet gives 3 times the meat. So earlier, if we had to kill 300 cows for that amount of meat, now we will have to kill only 100 cows. So earlier, the amount of methane produced would have been 10 into 300, that is 3000. Now, because number of cows killed will also become 1/3, and amount of methane per cow will also become 1/2. So the value will be 500. So total was 3000. It has become 500. So option C is the only answer that is a numerical answer. Other answers are useless. They are emotional type of answers. So you can very clearly say this is the approach you'll have to take to solve questions. And this is not a natural thing. This is not how we think all the time. Anybody who has not understood, please tell me that this is not clear at all. Let me know. Please tell me if you haven't understood something. Yeah, please speak up. Please speak. Shouldn't, I think. If you want
to... how are we determining that the numerical question will only give the right options and not the other options? Like you explained
because
us how
reduce
the...
significantly. 1 second. So total methane production would reduce significantly. How will I prove this? I have to strengthen. So I have to prove this, that total methane production will go down. How will this be proved? If I say that a company is producing, let's say, 100 kg of waste, this 100 kg has to go down. So I have to prove that this 100 number will reduce. So it's a numerical argument. What is it that you're not agreeing with? Please tell me. I'd like to explain more in more detail. What is not clear here? Please remember, you are not inferring the information from the passage. You are saying if option C is correct, can this conclusion be correct or not? Yes, please ask me if it's still not clear. I'd like to explain.
It's
Please
clear now,
speak.
sir.
All right. Anybody who has not understood, please tell me. You can speak and tell me.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Sir, it's like numerical because the conclusion is numerical.
The entire question is right from 1.5 billion is numerical. Okay, please understand this logic. Why it is numerical is not the point. That anyway can be taught. Do you disagree with the logic given here? Please tell me that so I can explain the other options also. Please tell. Total methane production from slaughtering of cows would reduce significantly. So it must be some number. That number is going down now. So I have to prove, strengthen means what? Anyway, I'm supposed to prove that total methane will go down number. Yes, most farmers would be willing, but that doesn't tell me whether production will go down or not. Farmers may not even be raising the cows. We don't know who is raising the cows. Maybe slaughterhouses are raising, maybe government is raising, maybe farmers are raising. And farmers' willingness doesn't tell me whether production will increase or not. This tells me more methane is produced by cows raised, but that is not the point. If I say India's population is more than China's population, this is not the question. The question is, will India's population go up? If you are given X is greater than Y, this is not a proof that X will increase. So obviously option B is an irrelevant answer. Please see this. Option D. Yeah, please, 1 second. Now it is written methane contributes more to global warming. That doesn't tell me whether methane will increase or not. Please understand, if I say Reliance is the biggest company in India, it doesn't mean next year Reliance will grow. We can't predict that Reliance will keep on growing. Next year, Reliance may actually decline and may still remain the biggest company. Obviously, none of the answers will work. Carbon and hydrogen. What are you supposed to prove? That production of methane coming out from the cows will go up. Please tell me what is it that you disagree. Yes, now you ask me. One person raised hand, so let me know. Yeah.
Hi.
Speak.
No, I understood the answer. I just had a doubt. Like
Mhm.
one of my problems when it comes to questions like these, na, are like option A. Most farmers would be willing to give their cows high quality feed. So this
Right.
is a false statement according to me, according to my logic. So that throws me off.
No, it's
So
not false or true. Please remember, you are given the logic. If true, if this is true, will I be able to strengthen that production will increase? You are not supposed to. So there are two types of questions we can think about. Inference. Inference means what is derivable from the passage. Strengthen means if I take options to be true, not the passage to be true, can I prove the conclusion? This is the meaning. This is not an inference question. Now, I'll tell you what the problem is. Many people will think, how can 3 times be correct because it's not given? Tell me anybody who thought so or not. Please tell me. How can 3 times be correct? It's not given at all. Please tell me anybody who had this initial thought.
I had this doubt as well.
Do you realize this is totally irrelevant, or do you think this is important here?
So
What are we supposed to say? Which of the following, if true? If true means I'm not supposed to check whether it is true or not. I'm supposed to take this as true and then find whether the conclusion is going to be strengthened or not. Is it still not clear? Please tell me with the calculations written here.
no, so I understood now.
Anybody else who has a challenge here, please let me know. So this tells you what the GMAT is going to be like. I mean, it's not the only thing. Obviously, there are 3 sections. But now let's see why I said that this question represents everything. Obviously, this is a verbal question in critical reasoning. It involves reading anyway. So in a way, reading comprehension to some extent is covered. It involves some amount of math. So quant is covered. And it is data after all. So data is covered. So you cannot segregate that this is a math problem. Obviously, this will be given in the verbal section. But your skills tested are all of them. So clearly, anybody who is still not convinced, and even if you have the slightest doubt, please ask. Slightest doubt also. Okay, please ask. Okay, let's continue then. I'm not discussing too many questions today, just giving an idea that you can't say my common sense is enough here. We'll have to really think. So now the other thing people have been asking me a lot is, if the GMAT Focus edition they thought was an uncertain kind of detail, should they shift to the GRE? By the way, the GRE is also changed recently. So let me once again share this for the benefit of all the people who've just joined in. I'll still make something that you may not have understood in the reports that I've shown you. This is written, if your score looks low, don't worry. That means what? We don't care about these numbers anymore. We don't care about any. Even if someone says 800, we don't care about it. We care about the percentile only. Okay. So previous version, many test takers try to hit a score of 700 for it. Now this is 6-4. So we don't bother about low score because the only thing that matters is this. Imagine 685 is the score that looks so much less than 700, but it is 97th percentile, which is close to a 760 score. So if someone feels that, oh, my score is this, and B schools know about this, please remember. Okay, somewhere it is B schools know when reviewing your application. That means writing the new GMAT is not a disadvantage and doesn't mean low score, because you will not check these scores, you'll only check the percentiles. So be very clear about this. And each of the sections we've been teaching, I've been teaching for 27 years, so I know very clearly how it operates. This is another thing. Let's see, we'll still discuss whether GRE is the right exam or GMAT is the right exam for your understanding. Also, all of you, whosoever wants some information, please take a screenshot of this, and later on you can connect with my colleague Natasha for anything. And we are also doing an event with GMAT GMAT itself will be doing that event. So all the questions you have related to the exam, you can ask. It's on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Please take a screenshot of this and also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll keep on doing this. Please connect on WhatsApp only, not on a regular call here. So just let's continue now. GMAT, what is the structure? We have 3 sections, verbal, quant, DI, and 23, 21, 20, 64 questions. This is this. GRE, the new structure is verbal has 2 sections, quant has 2 sections, and you have a writing section also. And this. So let's see. GRE, this is the detailed structure if anyone wants exactly. Let me discuss whether you should write the GMAT or the GRE for the program of your choice. I'll give you the most unbiased opinion because my logo itself says I train for both GMAT and GRE. So I will not be a biased person to give you any opinion because I teach both. I have cleared both the exams with full scores. So my opinion will be the most unbiased. Somebody who teaches only GMAT will tell you, okay, go only for GMAT. Somebody who teaches GRE will tell you because that's business for them. Here I'm saying it is not so. The opinion is extremely unbiased here based on pure facts. Also remember, because of my experience for so many years, a lot of people who work with GMAT and B schools at ADCOM, I know them on a formal level also, an informal friendly level also. I keep having these discussions and I keep having that, okay, will the GRE be acceptable for this, and so on. The answer to that has been, if you're going for a business program, mostly, so deferred MBA, MBA, MIM, Econ, Masters of Economics, Masters of Business Analytics, Masters of Marketing Analytics. Then this is the preferred default. I'll tell you the reason also. If you're going for MS, Masters of Science and STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Suppose you're doing your BTech or you've done your BTech and you want to specialize in robotics only from MIT or Stanford, then obviously GRE is your exam, not GMAT. So GRE is the right, but 2 programs, MIF 2 programs and MEM, Masters in Engineering Management. This is offered by Cornell University. This says GMAT is equal to GRE for them. So there is no problem. You can write either exam. Masters in Finance at 2 universities, at Berkeley and one more university, which we'll talk about, New York University, not NYU Stern, New York University. Not NYU Stern here, New York University. They say that GMAT and GRE is equally good. All the other business schools, right from the ISBs of the world to the Harvards, to the Whartons, to Kellogg, Booth, Columbia, every MIT, all of these, they say, if you're going for these programs, then GMAT is the preferred default. The reason for that, I asked them why, because they on your website, you obviously say GMAT and GRE both are acceptable. They say that the new GMAT tests your business acumen and skills way better. I mean, if the GRE is probably 10 in that analysis, the GMAT is 100. The GRE does not measure because vocabulary is not really an important skill for you to succeed in business. That is tested in this. And a lot of stuff that is tested on the GRE is very, very basic and very, very outdated is what they say. But if you're going for MS, then please remember GRE is the only exam. So I'm just being very honest here. They say that this. Another thing at the time of placements, maybe you know this, maybe you don't know this. Please remember, GMAT is the only score that a company will check. GRE score is not checked. Let's say you're applying to BCG, one of the top recruiters, or McKinsey or anything, Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan Chase or Facebook, or Meta, or you're applying to Google or something. They will not at all look at your GRE score. So even if you've got an admission based on GRE, this. The third thing, scholarship when they give, GMAT is the preferred exam to decide for them. So this is for business programs. If you are going for engineering or masters, please remember GRE is your right exam. So do not really think that, oh, I will wait for this. Even if you get a 645 score, it is equivalent to 700. So don't try to compare. If you get 685, it is equivalent to 760. So don't think low scores, so let me shift to GRE. I teach both the exams, as I've been saying, so I will not at all be biased about it, clearly. But this MEM is Masters in Engineering Management. If someone is looking only at this program, then you can write either of the 2 things. If you're looking at Masters in Finance from 2 programs, then you can look. But all the other programs in the world, for business programs, programs, clearly GMAT is the preferred default. Let's say you're applying to ISB. ISB says, I mean, I know so many people from ISB. Last week only we did a webinar with ISB directly. You might be knowing about it, you might not be knowing. We asked them in private. They will not say this in public, by the way, because they have obviously committed to both GMAT and GRE that we'll accept. In private moments, they always say, no, we will not look at GRE very favorably. But if it is engineering, please take care. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. You want to specialize in math or stats, you want to specialize in any engineering, you want to specialize in technology or physics or something, then only GRE. So both these have been explained very clearly. I hope you're clear. Placement time, only GMAT. Scholarship time, only GMAT. That is preferred. And placement time is not preferred. At placement time, GRE is not an exam. So suppose you have thought that, okay, I want to go for McKinsey after my B school. McKinsey will not look at your GRE score. So as of now, this is the only choice you have. Just remember that thing. I'll answer all these questions that you have. 1 second, please. Now, what are the admissions criteria? Some people might not be knowing. If you're going for MBA, deferred MBA, all of these programs, GMAT is a default choice. GRE is a strict no. I told you the reasons very clearly. If you're going for other programs, then fine. You have to do essays, SOP, recommendation letters, do your resume, transcripts, means college, mark sheets. And then the interview, if they like all this, then the interview. If you clear the interview, then you get the offer. Sometimes TOEFL or IELTS you'll have to write alongside this. Sometimes TOEFL or IELTS you'll have to write at the time of visa. Most of the times you will not have to write. So this will depend on the school and the country. Suppose you're going to Canada, TOEFL or IELTS you have to write. There is no exception. You're going to Australia. But if you're going to the US, 90% of the cases you don't have to write. Some business schools will say we want it still. And some visa requirement for some universities will definitely want it. So if you're going to the US, mostly TOEFL or IELTS are not required, just giving you an idea. It's not at all something that you have to prepare for also. Okay, also very honest with you right now, what I'm going to discuss may shock some of you. You may hate it because we really think IITs and IIMs and so on. Please be ready to listen to some harsh truths based on data, because emotionally when we talk all the shit we can possibly think about. So think. You really do not become CEO of a Fortune 500 company if you study your MBA or Masters in India. Very, very, very rare examples might be there. I actually have studied Fortune 500 CEOs because this is something that I do. This is not just a hobby for me. This is profession. 500 CEOs. Please remember, these are not American. Only 170 are American. The remaining 330 are non-American here. That means non-American doesn't mean they exist in America. They are in Chinese companies, Indian companies, European companies. 473 of them have, out of 500, an Ivy League MBA or Ivy League MS. Now 462 of them have MBAs only. 11 of them have Masters in Science, that is MS program. This is exact reality. You can double check if you want. So one thing is this. You can definitely earn if you go to an IIM, let's say. And please remember, I'm not denouncing. We train for the GMAT. GMAT is an exam that takes you to IIM and ISB also. So I don't have a problem. I go to IITs to do sessions. So I'm not talking something biased. You can definitely get to a decent salary, maybe 1 crore after 5 years, but that's about it. In life, your frustration after 5 years is not money. Trust me, it is not. Most people who have just started their career or who will be starting, they think money will be their biggest frustration. कि पैसा नहीं मिलेगा मैं क्या नहीं. Today, Sundar Pichai, for example, वो भी तो इंडिया का ही है. Oh, why did he go to Wharton after all? Satya Nadella, why did he have to go to Chicago Booth? They are tech guys. They shouldn't have gone anywhere, but they went. The reason for that is, today, if Sundar Pichai takes a decision that let's make Google Maps a paid service, simple, छोटी सी चीज बोल, 4 billion, मतलब 400 crore people on the planet will be impacted by a decision made by a CEO. कोई कंट्री का प्राइम मिनिस्टर या प्रेसिडेंट भी वो पावर नहीं रखता जो ये लोग रखते. And what you love about your work is decision making. That means, is it impacting people? Have I got an implementation possibility? Suppose you join McKinsey as a BCom or a BBA graduate, which is possible in India, or a BTech graduate, let's say, in India. 2-3 साल आप काम करोगे एंट्री लेवल, फिर 3 साल बाद आप अपने बॉस के पास जाओगे, मुझे प्रमोशन चाहिए. The boss will say, where is the MBA? Where is your MBA? Without that, you don't get promotion. Forget being a partner, forget being an associate, all of that is too later. Even from analyst to associate, junior associate, you will need this. So this is a harsh reality. The problem with Indian companies is there is no decision making. So what happens, even if you're earning 1 crore, you will feel, what am I doing with my life? That is why your experience becomes frustrated. In global companies, one thing is you have a lot of decision making power, obviously globally, and in your team also, at your level also. If you're handling a region, you have a lot of decision making power. In life, when you really want to be happy, this is what makes you really happy. Any teammate, agar aap working hai, bahut sare log honge, ask them if they're earning decent money. This will be the biggest grouse. It becomes such a stagnant life. Why do people have कि Monday को काम करने का मन नहीं होता? Why do you have terms like Monday morning blues? People are waiting for Friday, TGIF, thank God it's Friday. What is the meaning? An entrepreneur doesn't say Monday morning blues because उसने खुद ही start किया है. And I'm sure जो CEO level का बंदा है वो नहीं बोलता thank God it's Friday. So this is the point. And you might say it's too. How are you talking about CEO of a Fortune 500 company? I'm telling you, some of my students have become this over a course of 10 to 15 years. So really, you'll have to keep that ambition. Let's see. You might feel CEO अगर बहुत दूर की बात है, क्या बकवास कर रहे हो आप? तो ये देखो ध्यान से. One of my students, Akshi, she went to INSEAD, and INSEAD is the best 1-year program. MBA and MIM both. दोनों के लिए best माना जाता है. 1-year MBA और MIM, Masters in Management. So she joined INSEAD and just graduated. Let's see what message she sent. It's unfortunate that we couldn't get to meet. Obviously, we had planned that we'd catch up in Delhi, but I couldn't make time. Just want to share that I've got a CEO role directly and will be starting. आप किसी ISB या IIM से मैंने आज तक नहीं देखा, आज तक कि कोई भी पर्सन को डायरेक्ट CEO रोल मिला हो, even small company, and she has directly got a CEO. This is, and she wanted to come and talk to the students here as well. Obviously couldn't manage it, but this is what I'm saying. What did I say? You can become CEO. This is not a Fortune 500 company, but imagine if a starting job is that of a CEO of a decent company, she can actually become Fortune 500 CEO. Who stopped? Indra Nooyi, who retired as the CEO of Pepsi, was a regular student who went to Yale University, one of the Ivy League universities, for her MBA. Yale MBA है ना. उसके बाद how did she retire? Becoming the president and CEO of PepsiCo. So ये ध्यान रखिए, वो नहीं मिलेगा. इतने से समझ आ जाएगा. It's the best 1-year MBA program in the world. Best 2-year program is Wharton. By the way, just giving you an information piece. So important this. इतनी छोटी सी चीज है. Package वगैरह, I mean, these things don't matter. Do you think money will be a concern right now? Do you really think money will be a concern that no, I'm not earning enough? CEO से ज्यादा पैसा तो कोई भी नहीं मिलता किसी कंपनी में. And she has all the offers she wants. She had 50 different offers, 50 from one college. So take care of this. Now, this is her video also.
Hey everyone,
I don't have to really play this fully, but she's talking about me and my colleague Autry, who is her admissions expert. And she got her MBA very recently from INSEAD. So
Hey everyone,
let me just share this with you later on. We'll share all the videos, etc. So I was talking about this, generally frustrated, you don't get to become this. Now we had a student called Maurya who recently wrote the Focus edition, who also works with me as assistant faculty, and who got a 685 score, which is equal to 760. Maurya ने मुझे पहले GMAT में 770 he had scored with us directly. Now let's see what does he say. He's already got into INSEAD MIM. He has less than 1 year of work experience, and INSEAD MIM is the best MIM in the country, in the world rather. So best MIM program. He had a 770 and this is 685 when he wrote the Focus edition. Please remember 685 is equal to 760, not a low score or anything. So he has made it to MIM, and this was one he made a 770 score in the previous edition. Absolutely possible to change your life less than 1 year of work. Now, INSEAD is the first school for 1 year MBA. What is the number one school? So let's see. Wharton has been topping the charts for the ranking for the last 11 years. ये important है हमारे लिए जानना, क्योंकि कई बार हमको idea ही नहीं होता कि कहाँ apply. Wharton has been number one in the world for the last 11 years. Okay, look at this. 2020, 12 में भी Wharton number one था. 2022 में भी and 2023 में भी Wharton and Booth are tied up here at number 1. Harvard is at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So overall, first and second are tied, third and fourth are tied, fifth and sixth are tied, like this. But 2023 में Wharton is number 1. 2012 में it was number 1. 2022. Why am I showing you this? There is a reason. So it is world's number 1 B school for the last 12 years. Number 1. It's called the original Ivy League. This is the university called UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, that started Ivy League education. Is the number 1 among M7, the Magic 7 schools of the US. Is the costliest, highest GMAT, highest average GMAT, highest median GMAT around the world. Fastest route to become a Fortune 500 CEO. This is not something that is told or known to people. If you go to Wharton, please understand, I'm just trying to explain this very clearly to you. If you go to Wharton, the average time to become CEO of a Fortune 500 company is 16 years only. If you go to Harvard, obviously Harvard is Harvard, but it takes 29 years to become CEO from Harvard. Wharton is called the world CEO factory. That is why you'll see what are Wharton and Booth, why are they ranked the number 1? Look at Indian CEOs only, जिनको हम इतना तारीफ करते हैं. Sundar Pichai has studied here. Satya Nadella has studied here. Clearly. So no doubt there. 83 nationalities. Wharton का 2023 का है. आप ISB जाओगे ना तो आपको लगेगा कि इंडिया का चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट सब साथ में आ गए या इंजीनियर सब साथ में आ गए. How much your learning will be when you go to a place like this, you should realize. And we keep sending so many people every year to these places. Again, look at this average GMAT score earlier in the previous edition was 733. Median score was 740. These were the highest in the world band. Now, some of us might feel कि हाँ ये सब ठीक है, but इंडिया में क्या बुराई है? मैं वापस से आ रहा हूँ उस चीज पे. जितने लोग MS के लिए जाते हैं इंजीनियरिंग के बाद, most of them end up doing an MBA eventually. So there is a reason. I'm not saying MS is a bad degree, but MS is not your final education. जिसने BTech या BBA या BCom किया उसको लगा होगा ये final education है. No, you'll definitely feel it's not enough. After MS also you feel it's not enough. And this is something that you'll find on the internet. 88% of IIT students within 3 to 5 years go for an MBA program abroad, or at least they try. They don't get through always. ये कोई नहीं मानता है कि यार IIM के बाद अच्छा सक्सेसफुल करियर होने के बाद why would people want to do a second MBA? Let me share something with you. We'll tell you what is the problem with Indian system. I personally have dropped out of IIM Ahmedabad, but this is not the reason why I'm showing. Let's see. This is a student called Monica. She was an MBA from IIM Kozhikode, prior to that engineering. And उसके बाद 7 साल का almost work ex at Citibank globally. Look at this. US, London, Taiwan, Mexico, Luxembourg, Singapore, ये सब जगह she had done the work in leading capacity. Despite that, she felt कि नहीं, उसका जो IIM का MBA है, that was not enough. So she has just joined Wharton in 2023 for the class of 2025. So this is the reason. Now, if an IIM person who is so successful feels Indian education was not enough, आपको ये पता होना चाहिए, पहली बार में ही मौका मिल रहा है तो आप कर सकते हैं ये सब चीज. Very important. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. These are things available on internet directly. LinkedIn पे जाके आप देख सकते हो. She was member of Students Council 2014 to 2016 for 2 years. She did her MBA. 16 से लेके 2023 तक 7 years she worked. But this and global role also, she thought her education was becoming a big roadblock to becoming CEO level person. She said that मुझे CEO बनना है किसी भी top bank का globally. That is what her dream was. And this is what she has attributed. 760 was a score anyway. And she has talked about us. You can find it online. So clearly. And verbal में इसका इतना खराब था. You will feel कि किसी का हाथ पकड़ के बच्चे को सिखाते हैं ना कि ABCD लिखना, वैसे इसको वर्बल सिखाना पड़ा था. तो आप भरोसा नहीं करोगे ऐसा. And 30 days is all she took. Let's see what she has to say, if there is something. I hope it's working. One second.
Hi Sandeep, this is Monica Rekhan. I've given my GMAT and I'm happy to inform you I've got a score of 760. Verbal 44, cons 50, and an IR of 8. This score would not have been possible without you or your course. I'm really, really thankful to you from the bottom of my heart. In this course, I've literally learned verbal from scratch.
I hope you've heard this. I've literally learned verbal from scratch. So this is it. Now, some of the most common questions I'll take up because people have कि हाँ ये तो ठीक है, इतना अच्छा प्रोफाइल है तो कोई भी जा सकता है. So some people have this that I don't have a good profile. What are my chances? I went to an average college. I have average grades. That is GPA. I have worked for an average company, or I have not even started working, depending. I have a very average work profile. I'm not a big manager. I'm not managing big team. I'm not someone who manages teams in 5 continents. So even if I get a great GMAT score, what's the guarantee? So let me not study. सबसे बढ़िया excuse है life में, कोई बहाना ढूंढ लो और कुछ नहीं करना पड़े, फिर रजाई उड़ के सो आराम से. Best excuse है. So let's see. I'm once again saying, if you want some, because some people ask again and again on the chat. So if you want to connect this screen, you can take a screenshot of. Also connect with me on LinkedIn, and we are doing a session with GMAT on 29th. If you want to attend, you can attend. Please WhatsApp her if you need any help. Now let's see this guy on your screen. He got into INSEAD, which is the best one-year business school in the world, one-year MBA program. He was talking to me in a previous session that I organized. He was talking to 900 people on Zoom. And this guy is a BBA student from Christ University with 3 years of very average work ex. इसी से सुनते हैं उसके grades कितना था.
So my grades are basically 60%, 65%, something, very mediocre.
60% translates to 2.2 on 4. So GPA जो बोलते हैं इतना सारा GPA कुछ भी नहीं, GPA below average. Which university? BBA from Christ University. College also below average. कोई खास नहीं, कोई IIT Delhi नहीं है ये. Okay. He worked for 2 years, 11 months with a company that you've never heard. Bloom Global is a local consulting company, and this is all. So less than 3 years of work experience in a company that is unknown. So what all is average? College average, GPA average, company name average, and duration of work ex is also not some 6-7 years or something. Where has he got in? Let's see. He's got into INSEAD. This is what he had to write. Dhananjay Venkatesh is his name. You can check online. So ये लोगों को बोलना है कि मेरा GPA खराब है, मेरी तो कंपनी खराब है, मेरा तो प्रोफाइल खराब है, मेरा तो कॉलेज अच्छा नहीं है. This is an excuse that we give ourselves so that we don't have to study. सबसे अच्छा है ना, if you say यार मेरा तो कुछ है ही नहीं, मैं क्यों पढ़ूं? Best, then you can sleep.
Hey
that
everyone.
is what. So this, there are many videos is shared. INSEAD MBA, but GMAT score can pull you anywhere. You can see whatever is written here. Can very clearly see. So happy that he's written such long messages, etc. Now let's see one more person, because most people don't believe. मैंने INSEAD का example दिया, that is the best business school for 1 year MBA. Now let's see best MBA overall. Look at this person's name, Kritika, 770 GMAT, and this.
Hey Kritika.
So she got, anyway, this is a video if you want.
Hey
later you
Kritika.
can check. She got into Wharton with scholarship, not full scholarship, but decent amount of scholarship. तो आपको लगेगा बड़ा जबरदस्त कुछ profile होगा. Let's understand what the profile is. She is right now an MBA candidate at Wharton, and she has done BBA from Symbiosis. Okay. And companies that she has worked for, nobody has heard their names. I hadn't heard these names. आपने नाम सुना हो तो बताइएगा. Great Manager Institute is a company I did not even know. She worked there for 2 years. I had not known. ये कोई McKinsey या Google नहीं है. Nothing. And the other place was Great Place to Work. उसका company का नाम है Great Place to Work. The third company she worked for 1 year, 11 months was Tactus, जिसका LinkedIn profile तक नहीं है. So look at her work ex. Okay, GPA average, college name average, and work experience average. So profile में तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. And she is studying in the best business school in the world right now. Reason? GMAT. तो एक जगह पे आपको excel करना पड़ेगा. Obviously, you'll have to excel. No doubt about it. So do not cry about my profile. You can ask us individual questions later on. I'll connect you to my admissions teammates who will tell you. But these two guys should give you an idea. Profile is such a wrong notion. आप दोनों को चेक कर सकते हो. मैंने दोनों का बता दिया आपको. So ऐसे लोगों का सिलेक्शन हो कैसे आता है? So average. How are such people getting selected? The answer to that is, it is about not having a great story, but selling your story. How do you make an extraordinarily compelling application with very average elements? It is really about that. I can write a normal novel. I can write a novel that you can't put down. I can direct a TV serial, which is so bad that nobody would watch. I can direct a web series that is so outstanding. but I can be the same person. I don't have to be from Harvard to do so. Same thing here. And I have my colleague Autry, who's the B School admissions director, who knows this trick very well. If you want to connect, you can actually attend a session. He does a session on story selling to B schools. Later on, let's see. Some people ask that my English is very bad, my verbal is very bad. Is there a possibility? So we'll talk about this also. The guy you see on screen, his name is Simrat Pal. He can't speak a single sentence of English. He first of all scored a 750. He was working with Punjab government. He can't speak Hindi also properly. He just speaks a few sentences of Hindi, mostly Punjabi. 750 was the score. Look at his verbal score. Verbal score was 99 percentile. It's really amazing that somebody can score 99 percentile, someone who can't speak a single sentence in English. So now let's see. If you listen to him, you'll need a slightly louder volume. Because जब ये वीडियो किया था उसका वॉल्यूम थोड़ा लो था. एक सेंटेंस भी वो इंग्लिश में नहीं बोल पा रहा है इन द इंटरव्यू, एंड आई एम टॉकिंग टू हिम इन इंग्लिश एंड ही इज रिप्लाइंग इन पंजाबी एंड हिंदी मिक्स. जस्ट लिसन टू दिस, you'll realize इंग्लिश आना या नहीं आना कुछ
अच्छा,
नहीं
दोनों में मुश्किल होता है आपको, आप पंजाबी बोलते हो मोस्टली.
हमारा काम ही सर पंजाबी में चलता है.
I hope your volume is good because this, he says हमारा काम ही पंजाबी में चलता है. So that is mean being a government
दोनों में
officer.
मुश्किल होता है आपको, आप पंजाबी बोलते हो मोस्टली.
हमारा काम ही सर पंजाबी में चलता है.
You got verbal 45, which is so phenomenal, I can't tell you. So how did this happen?
जब मैंने पहले आपकी क्लास में गई सर, तो मैं पहले दिन ही हो गया यार.
You can continue, but this is the point. And he applied to so many schools, Kellogg, Ross, Fuqua, Marshall, so many of them, 90,000 scholarship from Boston University, full-time MBA plus MS in digital technology at Boston, and so on, so many places. Right now he's studying at Marshall, which is better than any IIM you can imagine, any school in Asia, which is really one of the schools. And he got $100,000 scholarship. आप यहाँ देख सकते हो जो भी लिखा हुआ. He's a STEM MBA candidate at Marshall and Dean's scholarship of $100,000. ये किसकी बात कर रहा हूँ जो एक सेंटेंस भी इंग्लिश का नहीं बोल सकता. is written also, but I felt my limitation was spoken English. He just can't speak. This is it. He's got $100,000 scholarship. So my English is not good. Please stop giving this excuse. There are people who lived in villages of Andhra Pradesh. This is one more example. Can't speak a single sentence of English. First of all, got 770 score on the GMAT, and then he's got so many scholarships. So I can show you all these videos, but that's not the point. Let's continue right now because I'd like to cover more. There's a student, Arvind. He's from a village in Haryana. Not a single sentence of English. He had a score of 780 on his GMAT. Just listen to this, you'll get an idea.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi Arvind. अरे 780 यार, you should be celebrating. 780 किसका आता है यार? 5146 is just out of this world, phenomenal. Okay.
अमित से भी मेरी बात हुई, क्योंकि me and him come from similar background. मैं हरियाणा से एक छोटे से गांव से हूँ.
You heard, मैं हरियाणा के एक छोटे से गांव से हूँ. This guy got a 780 score. So please remember, now some people say English ठीक है, but my math is very bad. Is there any hope for me? I'm just answering. On your screen, you see someone called Ujasvi. Very recently in September itself, she had a 760 score. So let's see. When you join us for the first demo session, we have this Google form filled up. So very weak at quant was the first detail my team shared, that she was very weak at math. And 716 first attempt, this is the point. And this is what I'm talking about. It is definitely possible. Look at this. From Delhi University, she's a student. Quant, only I was scared, like if I can do, I'm saying anybody can, distracted by so many things. And she did not prepare for 18 months. In my mind, postponing GMAT for a very long time, all of this, gone through basics a lot of times. I asked, what happened? How did you focus and ace the quant section? Basics a lot of times, mocks, and so on and so forth. First mock score was 400. From there, somebody getting a 740 score, and this is her score report also, you can see. So it is definitely doable. That's what I'm saying. And this. Another person on your screen, Khyati, another, surprising, two names are both Khyati, and both have recently scored, surprising sometimes. It's written GMAT 760. She is from Jesus and Mary College, arts background. Quant and verbal, both were challenging. तो मैं आपको सिर्फ ये बता रहा हूँ कि ये अपना जो डर है कि मेरी प्रोफाइल अच्छी नहीं है, मुझे तो मैथ नहीं आता, मेरा तो इंग्लिश खराब है, ऑल दीज आर एक्सक्यूजेस दैट वी वांट टू गिव आवरसेल्व्स सो दैट वी डोंट हैव टू स्टडी। बेस्ट तरीका है ना कि अगर ये बोल दो मेरा तो मैथ ही अच्छा नहीं, तो बढ़िया है, फिर करने की जरूरत ही नहीं कुछ भी, देन नथिंग। See this person on your screen. I'm showing only for one reason so that you realize all these are random thoughts in your mind. These are not valid thoughts. Look at this. This girl's name is Simran, as you can see here. I also come from an arts and design background, so math was a big block for me. I haven't done math in 6 to 7 years. And then, so this is the person I'm talking about. I had a break from math for 7 years. So no matter which person you are, the worst person I've ever taught is Vinita. Worst person in the sense, worst math skills. After 15 years of work at the age of 37 and a half, after postponing the GMAT for 5 years, she finally applied. She got into Harvard also, but Duke gave a full scholarship, so she went there. And weakest person at math I've ever seen. These are, I could have shown the videos, but we'll share these with you. And from Duke campus, first of all, she got all the scholarships possible, all. And then she's working in McKinsey in New York at the highest salary from campus. Let me share who this person was. 5 years she did not write the GMAT for fear of math. These videos are available with us. You can actually check these later. And 2020, she made it to Duke at the age of 37 and a half, 15 years of work ex. Undergrad year was 2005. I've never met someone weaker at quant here. So this is genuinely possible. And she got the highest placement and she got all the scholarships possible. Let me share this also. जब उसने लिखा था कि कितने scholarships मिले. Kela scholarship, Forte fellowship, diversity and inclusion fellowship. 3 scholarships she got. Her MBA was totally free of cost. And that is this. And she's working with McKinsey right now. Ye person, if she had not taken a chances, she would be somewhere in her city doing nothing, frankly. She was unemployed when she contacted us. Really. So math and English both are bad. Can I really hope? There are so many examples. I can continue to give them, but so many of them, so many examples, I can't even start giving. This person says I had a score of 560 and I got a score of 770. In how much time? 1st December को जब exam दिया था, 21st. In 20 days, this guy went from 560 to 770. So those excuses, let's not really give. Then I don't want to really continue doing this only that I show you. I'm just trying to tell you profile bad, no problem. Math bad, no problem. English bad, no problem. Now some people say I don't have enough work ex or I have too much work ex. Too much work ex. I've shared one story. A girl having 15 years of experience getting into a 2-year program with full scholarship and now working with McKinsey. Some people say I don't have enough work ex. So once again, those of you who have joined in new or who did not take the screenshot, we are doing a webinar with GMAT on 29th November. Please do not miss this. If you're serious about this, take a screenshot, text my colleague, WhatsApp message to Natasha. She will answer all your questions. All the Q&A will do. Now here, this is the person we were talking about, 2 little workers. Booth का ranking याद है आपको? किसी को नहीं याद है तो यहाँ पे फिर से लिखा है, it is number 1 in the world, along with Wharton. This girl was 23 years old with 1 year of work experience. She applied in round 2 and she got through with $60,000 scholarship to Booth. She studied. तो ये कहना है कि मेरा तो work ex भी कम है, no problem. We have examples of people who made it to places like Booth, which is where Satya Nadella went to study. It's not an ordinary place, please understand. It's the best business school in the world, number 1 as per US News rankings. See this here. This is where she made it at the age of 23 with 1 year of work experience, $60,000 scholarship in second round. She's at Booth right now. You can see all this and so on. We helped her with both the things, GMAT and essays. She has 25K followers. I'm showing it for a reason. She's anyway a micro influencer. And even if people who are mega influencers, they trust us, because when Sharan Hegde, who is known to everyone probably, when he had to prepare for his GMAT, he spoke to 50 plus people who were already in top colleges. They recommended my name and top 1%. And he has made it to Columbia. Okay. He's made it to Columbia. Now, some of you don't understand what Columbia is. Let me just explain why he chose Columbia over all the other schools. Because he comes from finance. And Financial Times, which is the finance newspaper, global newspaper, ranks Columbia Business School as the #1 business school. This is the salary, starting salary. You can see. Columbia is ranked the #1 by Financial Times. He's a finance guy. His channel name is Finance with Sharon, etc. And that is why this. आप ये देखो ध्यान से जरा, if this is #1 in the world and India के कोई university कोई भी top 500 में भी नहीं, please see this. And all this is available on the internet. I am not doing something that I am trying to make a case for something. If IIT Bombay people swear by IIT Delhi people, oh, IIT Bombay, wow, Ola came out of it, oh, IIT Delhi, Flipkart came out of it, this. They are not ranked even in top 500. So imagine how will it be to study from top 5 in the world. Imagine this. And people like you and me, only ordinary people have been making it. It's no, these people were not special at all. So Bot and Booth in Columbia, as per respective rankings, are #1 and this. So if this is such a great place, if someone says IITs are so great, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay are so great, so in that case also, yes, Patri wants something. Okay. Oh, it's okay.
No, Sandeep,
please lower
sorry,
your hand after. No problem.
Sorry,
You
this
can
is for
lower.
Natasha. Sandeep, not
Okay,
to.
okay. No problem. That's fine. All right. So this is what I am trying to tell you, that if this is possible, and Autry only is there on the call right now. Autry was the one who helped. You can see Sharon has also mentioned his name. All of you, please wait. I'll give you access in some time. Please wait. So this is what you should really strive, because ये सब लोगों का जब हुआ है, and we had a very ordinary student, someone whom you will not really associate that, oh, she can get into this. She had a 770 score. Her name is Madhura. Right now, she's studying at Columbia. She got into Booth. This is Booth, which is ranked #1 as per US. She got into Columbia and she got scholarship at Columbia, $100,000 as well. So, bilkul possible hai. Now, another thing, some people think that, no, I don't have too much work. So, as I said, you may be 20 years of age, or you may have 20 years of work experience. In either case, it is definitely possible. Let's say someone who got a 780 score, the youngest student ever in India to get such a score, and his name is Harshit. So first of all, when he got the score 780, and once again, right now, what is he? What and deferred. He was 20 years of age when he got the score. So what did I say? You may be 20 years of age, or you may have 20 years work ex. Both scenarios, it is possible. So Harshit, Wharton deferred, you can check. This is his 780 score report. This is his video, not important, right? He's not the only person. 2 students joined us as college students 4 years ago. And they both wrote the exam on the same day. They're twin brothers. You can see they look absolutely alike. Both of them joined the course on the same day, twin brothers. They both gave the exam on the same day, both got a score of 760 in the previous edition. And they worked for 2 years, both of them, and they applied as a deferred candidate. Both of them made it to Wharton. तो ऐसा नहीं कि एक ही person, deferred में बहुत success stories. And some people ask, is Harvard not #1? So Harvard is just Harvard, you should know. There is no #1, #2, #5 with Harvard. Harvard is Harvard. It's like the MBA, that school that defines the name MBA for the last 100 years, that has been this. This student of mine was the 100th student who made it to Harvard. तो आप ये ध्यान रखिए कि हो सकता है कोई भी हो, verbal bad possible, quant bad possible, profile bad possible, GPA bad possible, everything that you can think about, that this is bad, it is possible. And there's no end to this list. There's no end. I mean, yeah, Wharton, this person has made, this person has recently made it to Harvard, etc. People who are college students or who are young, for them, let's see MIM and MIF. So this. Once again, 20 years of age, somebody who scored a 770, got into an MIM program. Let's see her first profile. And then when I say first, I'm telling you the second profile is from the business school. So she recently did her BBA from Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. It's very clear here, in 2023. While she was in college in her 4th semester, she wrote the exam. In 2022, she wrote this, you can see. And she got a 770 score in her first attempt. And while she was in her college, she applied to an MIM program, 2 best MIM, INSEAD and LBS, and she made it to INSEAD, and that is where she's studying. This is a picture when she was in 10th standard. So that's what was there on LinkedIn. This is a recent picture. So you can clearly see it is a possibility, but you have to get a good score, definitely. So whether you're a young candidate doesn't matter. At the age of 19 also we had someone who scored a 760, youngest ever. ये तो सब इतना बड़ा शौक था जब ये आया था. So let's see this person. And he right now is heading a big division of BCG in a particular region entirely. So she was 19 when she came to us, and you can see initially London School of Economics, Masters in Finance, and then Oxford MBA. When she came to us, it was 2016, 7 years ago. She was 19 years of age. This is top 1% written here. It was so shocking a piece of news that Times of India also covered a story. And this. Just listen to the first line. I'm 19 years old and I got 760.
I'm Ani, I'm 19 years old and I scored a 760 on my GMAT.
Then and now this. So the progression can be there for you. Clearly possible. So many people keep getting. There's another person. 2 of them actually. And got into one MIF and one MIM program, London Business School MIM, and London School of Economics MIF program. So, okay. Now, nobody believes when I say 20 years of work experience. Can anyone get in? Look at this guy. He was 41 years of age when he joined his MBA. 41. Where? 41. कोई सोचता भी नहीं. And in 2023 only he's graduated. You can see this picture. So genuinely possible. Genuinely possible. And he got the alum status and then he messaged me. Also, just to tell you, this is another very important thing for you to know. And this. So GMAT partnered with us exclusively for some reasons. We are right now the only training partner with the GMAT for the Focus Edition and doing a lot of seminars and webinars. And upcoming webinar is also with GMAT on 29th. So just saying why this happened, because sometimes this also, so this lady, Seema, she works with the GMAT itself. And she's a GMAT official. I've already done many webinars with her on seminars on location also with her. This was in July. This is still. My colleague Natasha, if you want, she can share whatever we are doing. Natasha, if you're there, please, can you share that on chat with everyone?
Yes, sir.
What we are doing?
We have.
You just make sure.
I've already shared the information.
Yeah, you can share now also so that everybody who's joined in, make sure you share it with everyone and just a couple of times. So this is the new event we are doing with GMAT. Now there is a question, and that question many people have asked me, that GMAT is the GMAT maker. We are a test prep company. How did this collaborate with us? Let me give you the answers. Before that, if you haven't really taken a screenshot of this, please remember, you can, for all your questions, she will be there to answer. You'll have to just message and accordingly she'll connect you to the right people. So the reasons, please take a screenshot of this, very important thing. Connect with me on LinkedIn also if you can. Lots of updates are shared there. Let's see the 4 reasons why the GMAT was interested in top 1%. It's a very rare thing. First of all, how can a company that makes the GMAT be partnering with a company that prepares for the GMAT? So this. First reason, we were the very first company to launch the most comprehensive course for the Focus Edition. We started the course on 12th of June and the GMAT Focus was launched on 6th of June. Okay. Now, when you write the GMAT, there is an optional survey. आपको पता है कि नहीं पता नहीं, but आप जब भी GMAT लिखने जाते हो सेंटर पे या ऑनलाइन, एक सर्वे आता है एंड में. उसमें क्वेश्चन होता है कि कहाँ से आपने ट्रेनिंग लिया था GMAT का. तो उन्होंने जब भी 99th percentile का एक्चुअली देखा तो the maximum people were from top 1%. So they were very surprised कि इतने स्कोर कैसे आ सकते हैं कहीं से. So that is why they tracked us for 5 days and this is what they had to say. So please see this very clearly as well. 5 days, what were the results? Just for 5 days, इससे आपको idea लग जाएगा. 28, 29, 30, 31st and 1st. 28th July to 1st of August. Let's see. Please see 28th of July. Look at this date. 28th of July, the score published. 760. A person called Jyoti, you can see here, and Jyoti here. So Jyoti, 760 score. Same day, 28th of July, we had someone scoring a 750. Her name is Ria here. You can see. Okay, so 760, same day, 750. This is a very shocking piece of thing. 29th of July, I have already shared this Simran with you. She scored a 740, but very, very weak at math. 30th July, we got a 760 score once again. So what did I say? 28th, 2 scores, 29th, 1 score, 30th, again 760, you can see Tanmay got a score of 760. 31st, we again had a 750 score. And this. So 5 days, look at the number of scores. 760, there's another person called Anirudh. You can see his LinkedIn here. On the 1st of August, we had a 760 scorer. On the same day, 1st of August, we had a 770 scorer. So I'm just repeating this kind of result. This is just unheard of, unprecedented. And that is one reason why we have collaborated and they have come to us. So this. Now, one question I want to answer is still top 1% आपके लिए है कि नहीं है? मैं आपको अपनी साइड से बता रहा हूँ. I'll take up whatever questions you have through my colleagues also who are online. Is this really the right place for you? So let's see. आपकी अगर एम्बिशन है कि कहीं भी भेज दो मुझे, यूके चले जाऊं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया चले जाऊं, 500 आ जाए, 600 आ जाए, you are not the right student for me. I'm ready to sacrifice that money. If it's not about the money here, it's about my mission. My mission is you have to have this level of ambition. If you don't have, then top 1% is not for you. I'm very exclusive about selecting the students. I am so clear. I do my sessions, live sessions before you enroll also. Why do I do those sessions? Even if you enroll for the self-paced course, just to tell you whether this place is the right place, whether you are the right student for this place. If you are dreaming the average in life, आपके लिए ये place नहीं है. Please ध्यान रखिए. Okay. If you are ambitious, there is nothing to think. But if you are an average thinker, ये जगह आपके लिए नहीं है. आपको frustration होगा. आपको लगेगा ये सब तो कहने के लिए है, कैसे हो सकता है? तो लेट मी शेयर विथ यू सम ऑफ द सक्सेस स्टोरीज ऑफ दिस लेवल. मैंने कहा था ना मेरे स्टूडेंट्स ये तक बन चुके हैं, वो मैं दिखा रहा हूँ. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, BlackRock, if you have not heard, if you know India's GDP right now is just 4 trillion. There is a company called BlackRock which manages $10 trillion, which is so huge. हमारे fathom के भी बाहर है. It is 2.5 times the size of India that this company's assets under management are. So this huge. The person that I'm talking about here is Divakar, who was a student like you, and as you could be, in one of my classrooms not so long ago. First of all, he became Global Chief Data Officer at GE. And then right now he's Global Head of Data, that is CDO, Chief Data Officer at BlackRock. Which is this company, BlackRock? पहले तो ये देखते हैं कि इसका प्रोफाइल कहाँ से शुरू हुआ. So he was a Manipal Institute of Technology BTech graduate, no IIT, nothing. Joined GE as a normal appliances company person. And then finally, he was Chief Data Officer of GE Global. This is a crazy thing. CXO नहीं है तो क्या है? और GE क्या Fortune 500 नहीं है? Obviously, GE is in the first 20 companies in the world. So this, and then after quitting GE, he has joined BlackRock as head of data. That means complete. BlackRock has its own software. आपने नाम सुना है कि नहीं पता नहीं. Aladdin is a software which manages $10 trillion in the world. If you are going for an MBA, please study this company. You'll be shocked. ये स्टूडेंट आपको लगेगा अच्छा ठीक है, बट ये स्टूडेंट मेरे क्लास में बैठता था. जस्ट सी माय एंड हिज क्लिप टुगेदर. Come here, we'll get an idea. Or you can just go. We were talking about it yesterday. Is Divakar? Just introduce yourself. I had a pretty interesting discussion about it. So, yeah, just go with the theme as Sandeep said. So I'm just gonna talk a minute. So this guy is the same. This person, in a matter of 10 years, life kahan se kahan ho sakti. This is what you have to dream. And he wrote to me when he got that role at GE, CXO role, you can see. So all of that. Now, one person who used to sit in my classroom has become a professor of finance at Harvard Business School. So look at this. She's Ishita, professor of finance at Harvard. And when she got that in 2019, and this was after 2011, 8 years later, she was texting. And this, so she didn't even have my number at that time. So this, and I want to tell you, I'll be faculty at Harvard Business School. So I'll be teaching Harvard MBA's finance. This is the person. वही person जो classroom में बैठ के GMAT की training ले रहा था, वो person is a professor of finance at Harvard Business School. तो life कहाँ ले जा सकती है? This is not your ambition that no, I don't want to become so huge. I'm fine. Then this is not the place. If you genuinely have the CXO CEO level ambition, these are the places for you. Also, this, I've shown you this. Now, if I just show you what ambition looks like, a college student came to us, जिसको बिल्कुल idea नहीं था किसी चीज के बारे में. His name is Aditya Srinivasan. You can see how young he looked. At that time, he was in college. And this right now, he went to Harvard Business School. Let me share his journey with you. कि क्या होता है ambition और ambition से आप क्या achieve कर सकते हो. So Ramaya Institute of Technology, first of all, he was a BTech person. Went to Singapore Management Universities for business analytics. I was telling you MIBA. MIBA is this course. After that, this is the education part. He worked with Citigroup, investment banking, then PwC, management consulting, then Visa, he was regional manager, and then after his Harvard, this is what he's doing right now, is heading all of Amazon in the MENA region. MENA is Middle East and North Africa region डायरेक्टर. आपको लगता है ऐसे लोगों को सैलरी या पैकेज का प्रॉब्लम होता होगा कि नहीं यार मेरे को पैकेज नहीं मिल रहा ठीक. He was CXO of GE, Chief Data Officer. This person. So if you are not ambitious like this, and ये लोगों को पता नहीं था where they would reach in these many years. This is how they start. Look at this. ये है. आपको अगर कोई थैंक यू बोल रहा है हार्वर्ड में खड़ा होके, तो life genuinely comes full circle for you. Genuinely, I feel. So I'm asking, how will you feel standing in his place? And how do you feel if someone thanks you from this sort of a campus? I feel very, very happy that I'm able to really make this kind of a change in people's journey. If this is your ambition, then top 1% is for you. If this is not your ambition, आप बिल्कुल मत आइए यहाँ पे. आप जहाँ जाना चाहें वहाँ जाइए, please. I don't want a student who is not ambitious. You can be very average. You can be terrible at math. It's okay. You can be terrible at verbal. It's okay. You may have a terribly average profile. It's okay. But you can't have a low ambition. Clearly. Take a screenshot if you haven't done. And how this journey started, I'm on a mission, I'm saying, just giving you an idea. So IIT Delhi this year celebrated its 60th anniversary. 60 years हो गए IIT को. So IIT called me to do a seminar in Jan called IIT to Harvard. तो मैंने सोचा ठीक है, I'll go. Generally don't go on location. At least I wasn't going till that time. And it was an amazing experience, absolutely stunning experience. आप देख सकते हो the amazing focus, concentration that these people gave me at IIT was unparalleled. It's so cold in January in Delhi. It was so cold at that time also. You can see they are all sitting in woolens, but focusing as if their life would depend on every word I was saying. Look at their concentration and focus. IITs ka genuinely they are different. And that's why you can see. I gave a question to solve. Everybody was solving. This guy was waiting for the pen from the neighbor. कि इसका solve हो जाए फिर मैं करता हूँ. Nobody's talking to each other. Nobody's distracted. Nobody's looking at the phone. You can see the T-shirt also here, IIT Delhi. And this was the event. And I thought कि IIT to Harvard ही क्यों करना है? Let's do more. So I started doing at many other places. This was close to 1,500 people listening in. Look at the focus and concentration of people. इस पिक्चर में आप मुझे एक पर्सन बता दो इतनी बड़ी ऑडियंस में जो डिस्ट्रैक्टेड है, एक भी पर्सन. ये पावर है. This is what I want from you. If you want to succeed, give me this level of focus. Don't give me anything else. Just give me this level of focus. You can succeed. You can genuinely succeed. Look at the audience, how focused they are when they are listening. This is that another IIT, by the way. And so on and so forth. So this is what I do. This is IIT Delhi again in a bigger hall. This is another. Look at their concentration and focus. This is what I need. Even if you're doing an online session with me, this is what I'll need from you. ये आप नहीं दे सकते हैं तो बिल्कुल मत आइए. If you are the lax sort of person, ढीला ढाला चलता है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कुछ अच्छा हुआ तो ठीक है, नहीं तो ठीक है, ऐसे लोगों के लिए ये प्लेस बिल्कुल नहीं है. I want people who are, even when they are listening to me online, they have this level of concentration for the entire duration. I have done sessions for 7 days and people did not even blink for 7 days. This is what really. So I'm that, really I'm on a mission and I want you to be part of the same thing. We'll take up your questions. If you have any, my teammates will answer those questions. So let me see who all needs that co-host access. Okay, so Abhijit, anybody else? Ranjika, you need any? Just raise your hand. Anybody who needs the co-host access and we'll answer your questions now. Just wait, Ganesh. Just wait. Anybody else who's there? Ranjika, are you there? No, I don't think she's there. Anyway, so Autry is there. So all the questions my teammates will answer. I think you can start, Autry. Ganesh is the first person who's raised hand. So please take the question.
Hi, Sandeep. My question is, does the GMAT Focus have the geometry still, or is just
No,
the
it doesn't
geometry
have
removed?
it. No. Geometry is out of the exam.
Okay, and even the analytical writing assessment, right?
Yeah, analytical writing is not there. You don't have to worry about what is not there. Just whatever the new syllabus is the right thing to do. That's it. So yeah. If you're already a student of top 1%, this Q&A session is not for you because you can always ask us later. I want to answer questions for people who are not students right now and who want some information. If you're already a student, honestly, this session was also not for you. So you may
I'm
leave
not.
or yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
a student.
No, that's not for you. I'm not saying Ganesh. I'm just telling everyone. No, not that for you. It is. Anybody who has a question, Autry, can you take if you're there?
Sure, Sandeep. I'll take
So
over.
my
Absolutely.
colleague Autry, who's the admissions director here, will answer all your questions related to the exam or this.
Hello.
So Autry, you can start one
Can
by
I
one.
ask the
Whosoever
question?
has raised hands. No. In
Sure,
this order we'll go.
Guys, if it's okay, we will go in the order of the hands raised that I can see in front of me. Just makes it easier to manage. So I have Samruddhi next. Samruddhi, go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the session. So I had read in one of the PDFs that the facilitator shared that at top 1%, we strongly believe that GMAT should not be considered an adaptive test, but rather a linear test. So I didn't really understand that. Could you explain that? Because technically it is an adaptive test, right? So
I'll explain. This is something for me then. Okay. So somebody, what happens is when you go to write the exam, if this is playing on your mind all the time, that is this question right or wrong? If you're judging the level, suppose you're at question number 5 and you feel question 5 is too easy, suppose, and you feel that, oh, did I really mess up the first 4 questions? So in your hand, you don't have that control. So psychologically, it plays a big spoil sport if you think that the exam is adaptive. We do not want you to think that the exam is adaptive because it is actually not in your interest. Okay, the exam is surely adaptive, but we don't want you to spoil your own party because of that thought. So have I answered it? Please tell me if it's clear.
Yeah, and so I had another question. So there are experimental questions, and since you are in touch with GMAC, like are there experimental questions in the new GMAT as well?
No,
And,
there are no experimental questions now. Yes,
Okay.
good question, madam. Yes. Any other thing here?
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'll repeat for everybody's benefit. So why should you not think that the exam is an adaptive exam, although it is adaptive? आप जब एग्जाम दे रहे होते हैं तो आपका दिमाग अगर ये जज कर रहा है कि यार ये क्वेश्चन तो बहुत टफ था, ये तो इजी हो गया, पहला वाला गलत हो गया होगा, ये हो, then you are thinking about the other things and you should only be thinking about the question. In that 2-hour 15-minute period that your exam will be for, you can't control what question will come in on your screen. So not even once should you think, how am I doing? Is this question an easy one or a tough one? Because many questions that seem very easy can be very tough. Many questions that seem very tough can be easy. And we are not the best judge of it. So never think that the exam is adaptive. We know it is adaptive, but don't think it is. Okay. Yeah. Autry, you can take the next one.
Yeah. Pooja Gulati. Pooja, go for it.
Hi. So I wanted to ask, do we have the option to choose GMAT Focus Edition or the previous one, or is it the only GMAT Focus Edition that we have to give?
Okay, Pooja, one question. Are you just starting your preparation right now, or will you, have you been preparing in some sense?
No, I will just start. So I don't know.
Okay, if you start, usually the time that someone takes is 3 months minimum. And 3 months later, the current edition of the GMAT will not remain. It will expire on the 31st of January. So we have only 2 months remaining. So we will not recommend that you even think about the current edition. Think that there is only one exam. Don't even think about it. Okay, I hope it's clear. Right.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go in this order. If the question is for my teammates, I'll direct. Satyan, you can ask.
I think Abhishek, you can go next.
Yeah, sorry, I was speaking actually, but I was on mute. So
Right, please go ahead.
yeah. So one is that the earlier exam we had in lifetime use, we can give kind of 8. So I have slightly exhausted 2 attempts in the old this thing.
Right.
Will that 8 gap still be available, or
No, you'll be allowed only 6 exams now in your lifetime, whether it's the previous edition or the current edition or the focus edition, whatever, or whether it is online or offline. It is overall 8 administrations. Whether you cancelled or accepted doesn't matter. You can write the exam only 8 times in the entire combined thing. So you'll have 6 attempts now, not 8 attempts.
Okay, that was one, and then one more is that does ISB will ISB accept the GMAT Focus edition for this round 2?
Yes, it is accepting.
The focus for the round 2.
Yes, it is accepting already. Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's
Okay, Abhishek, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to know what is the right age and time to start GMAT preparation.
What is the right time to start GMAT preparation for what exactly? Can you give me an idea?
Sir, do I
For the
take
MBA
sir, do I
for
take
the
this?
MBA.
Yeah, please
question?
take this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for the MBA
Abhishek, would you
preparation.
be able to tell me a little about yourself? So what do you do? Are you a professional? Are you in college? Where are you at?
So I'm actually representing my daughter, who's actually in year grade 10 right now, but she's also aspiring to do a master's after her undergrad. So I wanted to
Right.
know what is the right time to jump into this, because I'm quite keen to start, but obviously I don't want to overburden her, and instead wanted to know which is the right age and time to start this.
Abhishek, I think once she is in college, right? Once she's in college, because she could apply for deferred MBA or masters while she's still in college. So until she graduates, she is in college or in first year. She can take the GMAT by the second year. So because GMAT will be valid for 5 years, so we'll see how to. She's very young now, but I think if she is able to take it by second year, she should be good.
Okay, but from a top 1% enrollment standpoint, is there any age, minimum age that she must have to be a part of
Once
top
she's in
1%?
college. Once she's in college.
We will
Abhishek,
not
because
recommend
she-
that a school student joins us. Honestly, that's not really required because the exam doesn't take years to prepare. So we will say that in first year she can join in college, and she can come to know about all the things. She can research the university. You can help her as well. We can help her, but I think it's too early right now. It should be first year of college. That should be the time to take your GMAT or start your preparation. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay. And any other
Yashwant
person?
is next. Sir, I'll call out the candidates. You can answer them.
Yeah, sure.
Yashwant, are you around?
Yeah.
Yes, your question,
Thank you
please.
thank you very much for the presentation. I think I can relate to a lot of what you just said. I just want to give you just a couple of seconds about myself. I did take GMAT maybe 10 years ago, and I failed miserably. I think I scraped through some 600 odd score, and it did not go well. But I'm not in India right now. But if I were to join, I would like to learn more about what does it take for me to enroll into top 1%, and do you provide online guidance?
Right. I think you have a question. There are 2 questions here. When should you be, and do we provide online guidance? The answer is we are only an online company. So we don't provide training at the center. So yeah, globally people are attending from I think 40 plus countries right now. So yes, that option is available. We also have a self-study model in which everything is offered on video. So it is offered live also the way we are talking, and it is also offered as a recorded video session. So if that is the only question you had, then yes, we have. And when should you be looking at it depends on what your ambition is, which year you want to start your program, which program you want to do. All of these things will decide. So could you ask me a more specific question regarding the other thing? I'll answer it.
Yeah, I was more curious to learn how does it go about, one is self-paced and the other one is a live session. Is it do you have an online live session?
It's like the way the class is happening on Zoom, we teach properly. So it's a session that is,
Yeah, the reason why I asked that is it compels me to be on the class. I have the motivation, but at the end of the day, it helps me to. It's just like going to a gym. Like you have a gym trainer, then you are
absolutely, yes, I understand that.
Yeah, it's for that
So
purpose.
yes, for if discipline is an issue, we always recommend you take the live classes. But which
Yeah.
the let's say upcoming live class, the time it should suit your time
Mhm.
zone. In case you're in a different time zone, if you're in an Indian time zone, it will automatically suit it.
Okay. Yeah, I can make my adjustments on my side, but I
All
would
right.
like to learn more about the live sessions. Thank you.
All right. So Yashwant, do one thing. Please text my colleague Natasha. Send a WhatsApp message. 1 second. Let me mute everyone. I
Others,
think there's
please
some
keep your
background.
hand.
Yeah, I'll just do this. Just make sure all the people who are not speaking, they keep themselves muted. Please take this number and send her a WhatsApp text. She'll schedule a complete demo with me and how the live classes go and everything. We'll be able to answer in more detail. All right, Yashwant. Right.
I think Karan Bhavsar is next. Your question,
Hello,
please.
sorry to interrupt. I'm in the mountain region. Can I ask one question for a couple of minutes? My network will be gone afterwards, please.
ठीक है Anish, please bol.
Sure, Anish, please go
Thank you
ahead.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, like I'm also working in the stock market myself. So I generally get free at 4 to 5 in the evening. So sir, like what I'm thinking to go for the self-paced. So sir, how much would be the tenure of my course? And how much hours should I like give daily for that? Weekends I can give more hours. If you
Right.
can just short answer
Right
me.
now, are
I
you a
think, Anish,
beginner?
for all details, you can drop a text to Natasha. For all course-specific details and everything, every other detail you require
We'll still
about
answer in
what
brief
we
so
offer.
that everybody else probably can also benefit. Just a second. So are you a beginner or have you done some prep, Karan? Just give me, sorry, Anish. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
3-4 years back, I just prepared for quant only. I secured
Hmm.
500, but after since then, I am not prepared anything.
Okay, so we can think that you have not done any preparation. So you will
Yeah,
need
yes.
about 250 to 300 hours of preparation. Suppose you are giving 3 hours a day. So you'll need
Okay,
about 90 to 100 days of preparation. That means 3 to 3.5 months. So that should be good, I think. So 3 to 3.5 months, we have both the courses. The other details my colleague can provide. You can actually talk to her as well later on whenever you feel.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. Thank you so
Right.
much, sir.
Right. Yes. Karan, can you now ask a question?
So my question was also on the similar line, so it got covered. So thanks.
Right.
So I just needed
Please
like
lower your hand.
what will be the total duration? Like how much month should I allot for the prep?
The total duration will be somewhere between 250 and 300 hours. We can't decide by the number of days.
Yeah.
Suppose you're studying only 3 hours a day, then 100 days is a good amount of time you can take.
Will
And
it
if you're
vary?
studying 6 hours a day, then probably 50 days. It varies. That's why I said 250 to 300,
No.
but it
So
doesn't vary more than that.
I guess will it varies based on if I choose self-paced versus live or
No, that is not going to vary. Just that in the live course, we can't make it too fast for you. Live course will take 100 days. Self-paced course, if someone wants, can be done very, very quickly. Let's say in 50 days, 40 days. You just have to devote the entire day to studying. But self-paced can be done faster. That's the point. Yeah. But
Thank you.
live course, 100 days is a decent target you can take.
Fair. Anyways, I will reach out to Natasha for the
Please do. She will be able to answer, and she will also schedule a demo session with me, which you can attend and understand how things go. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Sadashiv.
Yes. Thank you for the session, first of all, Sandeep
Please.
sir.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
my question is regarding now that the GMAT Focus edition is being rolled up, so will this exam be considered for the fall 24, or will it be considered for the next like fall 25?
It is being considered already for fall 24 for all schools except Howard and Wharton. That's it. Every school in the world is accepting it. Just 2 schools are not this year. Next year, they will start accepting. So Howard and Wharton for round 2, because they announced it before the exam was available. That is the only reason. Every school in the world, if you say 500 places, 498 of them are accepting it for 2024 admissions also. And next year, these 2 also will start accepting. So there is no exception whatsoever anyway.
So if someone is even prepping in the final leg, third round, so he does stand a chance
Absolutely
to
no
appear for the
problem.
third
You
round
can go
also.
for the focus edition, definitely. No problem there.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. Karan and Sadaship, please lower your hands so that I can see. Bilal now can ask.
Okay.
Yeah. Bilal, can you ask a question if you're there?
Hello.
Yes, Bilal.
Sandeep, I am from Pakistan and I have been following you on the LinkedIn for a very long
Right.
time.
Okay. Yeah. Please tell me, Bilal.
So I want to share some of my background. I am doing my major in psychology. The first question I have is that whether the US MIMs or MBAs has a good acceptance rate of social sciences background and what GMAT score I should be targeting for that
Autri,
school.
would you like to take it up or Ranjika, please?
Sure. I'll take this up.
Sure,
Hey,
Audrey,
Bilal,
please.
hi. Hey, Bilal, hi. To answer your question, absolutely. So you're doing your undergrad, is it, or you're doing your postgrad in psychology?
Undergrad.
Undergrad, perfect. Perfect. So you are the absolute perfect student for the DEFED MBA programs. They look for people actually from some non-business
He's
majors.
also asking for MIM, so answer for both.
Yeah. So if you look at the literature, if you look at the admissions requirements, the kind of criteria, you will see that the people who come from business majors are actually not eligible to even apply to the top MIM programs in the United States in particular. So if you look at Chicago Booth, for instance, or you look at Northwestern Kellogg, they are very clear that they only want people from non-business majors. So the programs are geared for folks who come from backgrounds such as yours. It's not a negative or a drawback at all. As long as you can draw a coherent kind of story as to why you want to study an MIM program or why you want to do a deferred MBA, completely makes sense. Aim high on the GMAT, that's for sure. These programs are very competitive. There are a lot of people who are fighting for a seat. So I think a high score is imperative. It is more imperative for students like you because you have to show that you're academically competent to cope with the rigors of a management program. So in the standardized test, if you can show that you have done well, that's going to be really helpful. So yeah, I mean, get a high score, aim for the top 1% score, and which year are you in? When do you graduate? Bilal, when do you finish your undergrad?
2020.
2025, did you say?
Yes, Jan 2025.
Okay, so yeah, now is a good time to get going on your GMAT, spend the next sort of quarter focusing on getting a score so that by sort of, first half of next year, if you can get the GMAT out of the way and get a high score, you can then devote the second half to prepare for all your applications.
Okay, one more thing, Bilal, here. There is
I
no
think we can do a
discrimination.
consulting. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
We can do a detailed consulting with Bilal as well because he needs a little help. Also, to add, we've had multiple students from your background that are applying for MIM, got the scores. So you're definitely on the right path and the right place. Get in touch with us. I think we can do a consulting and you can get started. There is no right time to start it. You're already right there. We have less time, so get started early.
One last thing, Bilal, there is no discrimination against any profile. Okay, you may be from humanities, arts, economics, commerce, engineering, any medicine, even law, any background. There is no for or against. It is just that you have to prove your competence. Business schools or any school, in fact, any university does not have any bias against or for a profile. So just take care of that as well. All right, please lower your hand and reach out to Natasha, and we'll definitely schedule a consulting call with you. Okay,
Thanks,
Sandhya, can you ask a question, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. My
Yeah.
question is basically regarding the focus edition and the
Right.
material in particular. So I
Right.
watched a lot of testimonials of yours and regarding Octave and a lot of tricks you have. And recently you conducted the feedback with three of your faculties, Jignesh,
Right.
Maurya, and Manan.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of insights were shared there, and they were also somewhat taken aback by the changes in the format and even the difficulty. So
Right.
regarding that, how like one of the topics, for example, I paid close attention to that. They mentioned that the vocabulary part was a bit heavy in the RC section, and
Right.
even the passages also you told that the LSAT you always emphasize, and that is the Bible itself, you say. But like what changes like top 1% has been making in the material or the pedagogy
Okay,
as such,
I
I
have
wanted to
got,
know.
yeah.
Even the
So we were not
multi-source
even,
thing.
yeah, right. Okay, Sanidhya, I got the question more or less. We were not even waiting for this feedback. We've already updated everything because I had an idea about all this because I am very closely working with the GMAC in many ways. So we have a very clear idea about how the change has been and what the change has been. But yes, to answer your question, because reading comprehension vocabulary, for example, it wasn't so much of deciding factor for the previous GMAT. If it is a factor, then that has already been taken into consideration. So let's say the LSAT passages they were talking about. We cover a lot of them, and they are anyway more difficult than the focus GMAT also. So all of this has been taken care of. I am so on the ball that even before any announcement was made, 8 months before that, I knew that the change was going to happen, what kind of change was going to happen. But it is always good to add a visual or a face to the story. So that is why we made them right. Nothing new that I have learned or nothing new that they have learned. Obviously, what happens is when they were a student, okay, remember this. If you're a student, you prepared for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you are so ready to write the exam. And they were away from the exam for many months. So they were not geared to write the exam as students. But otherwise, they would have scored. And Maurya, for example, scored a 685, which is equivalent to a 760 right now. So nothing that we can't handle or nothing that is so outrageously new. If there is anything, the course material is immediately updated. You can actually attend one of the classes and you'll realize, if you want, or if you're already a student, I do not know, every single thing that is on the GMAT Focus Edition, the way it is being asked, we have already tailor-made a course based on that. And we take the feedback very actively and immediately work on that. So whatever feedback has come, in fact, in the data insight section also, there was some feedback. Reading comprehension that's slightly longer, and one person out of the three faced really hard vocabulary. That doesn't mean all of them did. But one person also got 3 passages, one got 4. All of that has been taken care of in extreme detail in the course. Yeah, I hope I've answered it for you.
Yes, and it answers them. Thank you.
Right. All right. So Manan, the next person can ask a question, and let's see who will answer it. Please ask a question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
My
Manan,
question is
please.
regarding the live online batch. I already know that you have started your live online batch from yesterday onwards.
That's
So,
right.
is it possible that I pay my fees in 1 or 2 days and I can still join this November batch? Or would
It's
you
a
recommend December
possibility.
batch?
We will say that yes, technically it is possible, but we will recommend that you go for the December batch. You can join immediately so that you can do some pre-work and prepare for the basics. Then come for a class. Suddenly, if you come now, it would be a bit overwhelming for you probably. So just come with a bit of preparation, or you can attend one sample class and see if you're comfortable. Definitely you can join.
Okay, I have just one more question.
Right.
I have done my internship in my last year, and I
Mhm.
have a 1 year paid internship work as well. So,
Right.
do the colleges, MBA colleges, ISB, or let's say Harvard anyway, do they
Mhm.
count this internship in the work ex?
Atri, can you answer this, or Ranjika, please?
Yeah, happily, I'll take that. Could you just repeat your question again?
Yes. Hello, Atri. So,
Yeah.
in my last year of graduation, I did 1 year of internship.
Okay.
So, and this was a paid internship, but
Right.
obviously I was a student enrolled in one of the colleges as well at the same time.
So this was
So,
a part of your college curriculum that you did, like a kind of a sandwich course where you did the entire
yes, yes,
degree. So it was like
yes,
a four-year undergrad degree where 1 year was an internship. Is that the kind of program you're talking about?
yes. So it was optional because either you could do project or you could
I
do
got
1 year
it. I got
internship.
it. So it won't be counted as full-time work ex, Manan, but it will go towards counting, it'll add to your candidature. Schools understand that there are such degrees out there. Yeah, I mean, if you're planning, so are you planning to do what an MBA or a master's program now or a few years down the line? What is your vision with that?
I am actually targeting MBA from India or abroad in 2025.
Yeah, so in your case, and you will graduate or have you graduated in 23 or in 24?
No, I've graduated.
Yeah, so the work X will be counted from the point you graduated, but it's just an extra on your candidature that you've done an extra year of work. Indian schools in particular, like ISB and all, will not count it as full-time work X. So they will still need you to work 2 years post your undergrad.
Okay. I get your point. Thank you. Noted.
All right. Okay. We can move on to the next question. So I have here Mihir Garg. Mihir, go for it.
Yeah, so hi guys. My question is basically, since the GMAT score is valid for 5 years and starting 31st Jan, the normal GMAT will be deprecated and we'll be only having the GMAT Focus Edition. So considering a candidate who's applying with the Focus Edition and another candidate who's applying for the same college with the normal edition of GMAT score, so how will these two scores compare, and will there be any bias towards from the college side towards choosing one score, or basically how would they
No,
not?
Mihir. If you actually see the score reports, colleges, you will get a percentile score. So whether you take the new edition, the Focus edition, or the old one, schools will look at the percentile score. You will be judged on that basis. So no, there is no bias whatsoever. Schools will judge you on the basis of where you fall in the percentile. So over the next 5 years, schools understand that there will be students who will have the old edition scores and folks who will have taken the test recently. So yeah, they have countered for that. So that's not a problem. You don't have to worry about that at all. You have to ensure that you get a 99 percentile score.
Okay.
Just see this, just to add to this, if you look at it on the screen, it really says that if your score looks low, which is written in quotes, you don't have to worry about this. Business schools know this when reviewing your application, because it is also saying 645 is the new 700. Schools also know about it. So this is a mail from GMAT. So nothing at all. They will not look at your score. They will look at your percentile. And percentile is an equivalent measure. It doesn't matter.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's move ahead. Upasana Das. Upasana, please ask your question.
Hi everyone. So I was checking out that new Focus edition has the reviewing option, right? So my query is, suppose I bookmark a question for review and I go back and change my answer. So since GMAT is adaptive, so how does it going to impact my score? I just wanted to know. I'm clueless about it.
This will require some extra information and insight. So the GMAT would, if you mark any question in review, the GMAT would take it as wrong for the time being, and your score will, let's say the new question, let's say you mark a question for review, the GMAT will take that as a negative wrong answer, and the the next question will be easier. So it is recommended that you do not put many questions in review. Only when you're not sure at all, then only, because it will, when you say review, it takes it as a wrong answer. So that is the official GMAT stand around it. Okay. Yeah. And then later, to correct, it will not become any other adaptivity or something. Is the same thing. So if you flag, let's say I flag 3 questions that I feel, all 3 will be at that moment considered wrong, and accordingly the next question will come. I hope I've answered it for you.
So basically, suppose I go back to the review section and I make it correct this time. So since GMAT already considered that question as negative, so even if I make it correct after in the second attempt, so it will not change, right? Like basically my score will not improve or something.
The adaptivity will not change, but you will obviously get marks for it. The adaptivity part will not change. That means the next question that could have been tougher had you marked the right answer in the beginning. Now suppose you take it for review, it has been counted as a wrong answer. So that will not change. Adaptivity will not change, but the score will change based on the answer that you gave for that question. Okay, I hope I've answered it.
Okay. Thank you, Sandeep. I understood it. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Jayant, please.
Hi, sir. I have a question for you. You shared a lot of examples for the 99 percentile and people who were weak in verbal and math scoring. My question for you that what it takes for 100 percentile.
Okay, so see, in the previous GMAT, there was nothing called 100 percentile. In the new GMAT, it has been introduced right now. So we will come to know about it as the test progresses. In the previous GMAT, there was nothing called 100 percentile. The new GMAT, it has been introduced right now. So what it takes, I don't think it will take anything else. If you ask me, 770 that used to be a 99th percentile will actually become a 100th percentile here. So it is not going to change anything, honestly. It's just the same thing. It's just a different way of reading the question. Okay, I hope
And
yeah,
yeah,
please.
that answered the question. And one more question, like why did you dropped out of Harvard?
इसके लिए एक वीडियो है पूरा 2 घंटे का, आप सुन लेना उसका. तो
ठीक है,
अभी तो
thank
there
you.
is no point answering that question because this is not really the discussion. But
Yeah,
there is a
okay.
full-fledged story video I've done at IIT Delhi itself, in which I have told this in detail. So we have it online. We can share it with you if you want. You can share.
Okay, sir.
All
Thank you.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Majid, please ask a question.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, please tell me.
Sir, I'm presently an army officer serving. I have 3 years to retire.
Okay.
And with GMAT scores valid for 5 years, and I'm planning my second career. Can you suggest a plan that I should start my preparation, taking the consideration a self-paced program, and thereafter aim to appear an exam?
Okay, Majid. So I think you can take a slow prep program. You don't have to really be very intense with it. So take the self-paced program, study at your own pace, and take it slow. But yes, in the next 9 to 10 months, maybe 6 to 12 months, any window, get your GMAT out of the way. It will be valid for 5 years. So it will be a good idea, but don't have to intensely rush into it also. Just learn at your pace. Maybe you're out of touch with studies as well, because if you say 3 years of service left, that means you must be a senior candidate. I'm just guessing. If that is the case, then maybe you're away from studies as well. Build your basics properly and take a slow prep situation. So my teammates will help you with the slow prep model in this case. Yeah.
I reach out to Natasha in this case, is it?
Yeah, please do. Please do. She'll
Okay.
either answer herself or she'll direct to the right people. They will be able to.
I'll put her a message. Thanks, sir.
Sure.
Sorry, just to interrupt a bit, we just have about 8 minutes before we have a hard stop. So please wrap up your
Yeah, I
question
have
at the
another
earliest.
class at 1 o'clock. So just asking. अगर कुछ भी पूछना है तो थोड़ा सा फास्ट कर लीजिए प्लीज. या आकांक्षा प्लीज बताइए.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please tell.
Yeah. Hi, Sandeep sir. Thank you so much for this interesting session. So I've just started my preparations for GMAT. Very basic. I've just started to learn about GMAT and what are the requirements and everything. I wanted to take a mock test for it. And as you earlier said, since the current edition will be scrapped out starting the next year, so is there like any difference between the mock test for Focus edition and the current edition? Are there like 2 types of mock test if I want to give and understand where I am standing currently?
Right, yeah. So there is a different mock test called GMAT Focus on mba.com, free mock test. We also have a diagnostic mock test for Focus. So you should not take the standard GMAT mock. You should take the Focus GMAT mock only because you are now starting. So clear. Yes, they are different totally.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, please lower your hand. Bhavya, please can you ask? Also,
Hi.
requesting my teammates, Natasha and others, please take care. All the questions that are being asked on chat, just take a note of who is asking and you reach out, please, accordingly. Okay, mock test link is also shared here for Akansha. Okay, so you can actually take the diagnostic mock from our portal also.
Got it. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Okay, Bhavya, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. I am already a part of your Focus Edition self-paced course.
Right. Okay.
So, sir, I just started my preparation and in the bridge course, like.
अच्छा भव्य एक काम करें आप प्लीज ये क्वेश्चन को माय टीममेट्स विल आंसर और दे विल कनेक्ट यू टू मी बट वो यहाँ पे नहीं लेंगे हम इसको क्योंकि थोड़ा सा टाइम की कमी है तो वी विल आंसर योर क्वेश्चन बिकॉज यू आर एनीवे अ स्टूडेंट सो विल टेक इट अप इन डिटेल just reach out to Natasha or anybody who onboarded you and we'll give you a detailed answer. Just take care. Yes, session was not for people who are already your students. Just saying that, no offense here, just that we are in a bit of a hurry here. So we'll answer it in more detail. We will get to you.
Okay,
right.
sir.
Yeah. Right. Anshul, please ask a question.
Yes, sir. So actually, I'm Delhi University student, currently graduating this year only, 2024, and I'm planning to apply for ISB in round 2, that is in March, first round, which does not require GMAT, and it requires GMAT around August. So
Right.
I'm planning to give GMAT in April, and I'm starting preparation right now. So is it the good roadmap, or am I thinking wrong?
No, I think Ranjika or Autry, you can answer this. Ranjika, you can take it. He wants to write the exam in April for YLP. I think it's
Right.
YLP or early entry. What is it?
Yeah.
YLP.
ठीक है.
YLP, so which year are you in? Could you give me a little detail? Final year?
Final year, graduating in 2024.
Right. Have you applied for stage 1 or are you talking about stage 1 itself?
Stage 1, I will be applying in March.
Right. So why didn't you apply in October? You could have applied in round 1.
It's okay, Ranjika. For paucity of time, my friend, you're absolutely on the right path. Your timelines totally make sense. Just stick to it. Do that first stage application before the deadline, and then focus on getting a high score.
Okay, and another question, like, what is the difference between a GMAT mean score and average score? Like,
What do you mean by that?
Like extreme, like while Sandeep sir is showing PPTs and some slides, I shown there is the average GMAT score and mean GMAT score. Is there any difference or something like that? That are there in two GMAT score or something?
No, nothing like that. ये एवरेजेस ग्लोबली जो लोग लेंगे एग्जाम वो इसके आसपास स्कोर आएगा, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. आपको स्कोर काफी हाई लाना पड़ेगा. एवरेज मतलब ग्लोबली, दिस इज नॉट अ बिजनेस स्कूल्स एवरेज, दिस इज द ओवरऑल जीमैट एवरेज ग्लोबली. इट इज ऑफ नो यूज. ये वैल्यूज का कोई मतलब नहीं. मैंने वैसे ही क्रॉस लगाया हुआ है, तो डोंट वरी अबाउट दिस. ठीक है.
And like, would our score be affected if we are bookmarking our question? Like you said, it would be marked wrong by GMAT firstly, and then if
Yes.
we answered it correctly, so would it be affecting our score if we answered it
It will
correctly?
affect your score. So do this in an extreme situation where you are very, very sure you're wasting a lot of time at that time, and you think that right now you can't get a right answer, then only you bookmark it. Otherwise, you don't. Anyway, this is covered in our course in detail, how to do the exact execution of the exam. It's in the mock strategies that we do. So ये कोई problem नहीं है. This will be covered. This is more an execution related issue. But yes, your score is negatively affected if you bookmark unnecessarily. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Right. Okay, Parikshit, can you ask, please?
Yeah, sir. So my question was, so do you think in the coming years, as more people take the GMAT Focus edition, do you think the percentiles will fluctuate? As in now, the current percentile, you said that 725 is the new 800, which is basically like the 99th or the 100th percentile. So do you think in the coming years, as more and more people take the exam, so will the percentiles fluctuate, as in the coming year, maybe a 765 or a 775 will be the new 99th percentile? And if no, so then is it impossible to score a 765 or a 775 in the new Focus edition?
What will happen, because this is not in your hand. In your hand, what is, I'll answer that also, but I'm just saying what is in our hand is to get maximum 100% accuracy, right? I'm just saying maximum. What is in our hand is 90% accuracy or 80%. The scoring pattern is not in our hand, so not something to worry about. Now the next thing, percentile scores will not fluctuate much, but yes, what they show, let's say here, someday this could become a 725, we do not know, right? This could happen, but that will be far-fetched, like 3-4 years later change aega. Just remember, if 5 lakh people write the exam or 5,000 write the exam, more or less the percentile will remain the same, because you'll have really equal percentage of bright students here, equal percentage of not so bright students. In 5 lakh, this doesn't really change. By now, already 5,000 people have written. So it will be very, very late in the day, 3-4 years later. Abhi kuch nahi. मैं आपको example दे रहा हूँ. 760 is the 99th percentile in the current edition. It has been so since 2003. उसके पहले 750 used to be the 99th percentile. So imagine 20 years में वो move हुआ है थोड़ा बहुत. आपके लिए सोचना भी नहीं है, ठीक है?
Alright,
And
so
now you
basically,
are asking what will it take someone to score a 765. Let's not get there ना. क्या करना है आपको? परसेंटाइल ही जब काउंट हो रहा है तो करना ही क्या है कि कौन सा स्कोर है. It doesn't matter. If you get 100 percentile, it is equal to 100 percentile. If you get, they will not look at your absolute score at all, only percentile. So this is not something that anybody, even GMAT will not be able to answer this, because this is dependent on the students who will be writing the exam in the next 3 to 5 years. तो अभी नहीं उसका आंसर करना है, ठीक है?
all right, thank you so much.
Right. Okay, Aditya, please.
Yes, sir.
Agar
Are you
किसी
able to
और
hear
को-
me?
all of you after Aditya, you can write your question in the chat, and we will reach out to you on a call. We will answer, because I have another class at 1 o'clock. वो मैं delay नहीं कर सकता. That's why it was 11 to 1. Still, Aditya, you asked the question. Everybody else will allow you. Please, आप अपना question chat पे share कीजिए. We will get back to you on an individual call. All right. Yeah.
So are you able
Aditya.
to hear?
Yeah. Please.
Sir, I wanted to understand what's the difference between, in terms of opportunities in 1 year MBA and 2 year MBA. And sir, are the in CR and ISB only the best options we have for 1 year?
Autry, please answer this.
Yeah, I'll take this. Okay, so Aditya, there is not an easy short answer to this. Okay, so the way I answer this question is to tell students. So the reason people do an MBA is broadly for three main parameters. Okay, you have to ask yourself, why are you doing an MBA? Broadly, people do it for three parameters. One is they're looking for, let's say, a geography shift. They want to move and work in a different geography, right? An international experience or something like that. Second, many of us are looking for industry shifts. Right? We want to do something fundamentally different. I worked in a particular industry A, I want to move to something totally different. And then what we are all seeking is some sort of functional shift, right? We want to move away from the kind of nature of the work that we are involved in. Primarily, most of us before an MBA are doing functional, execution, implementation heavy jobs. The whole point of doing a top-notch MBA is you want to move away towards more strategy-oriented roles. So to answer your question, if you are looking for more than one of these three things, it might be prudent for you to look for a longer stint program. Why? Because when you spend longer in business school, let's say you spend 2 years, you get more time, you can do internships, you can do immersions, you can spend more time, let's say, with a recruiter in an industry that you've never worked at, and to show your stripes, to show your pedigree in that space, and so on. Again, having said that, the older you are, the more experienced you are, i.e. the more entrenched you are in a particular industry, less likely you will want to move away from it to start from scratch or something in a new workplace, new environment. So therefore, slightly more mature, experienced people tend to prefer shorter duration programs. Having said all of this, you should know that this general hoopla of 2-year MBA is primarily very United States, North American thing. It's again, you have to ask yourself why most of the top US schools do only 2-year programs, because that's how they see management education. They are great believers of something called experiential learning, right? Learning by doing. And if you go by that, then it takes longer. The more time you spend on it, the better it is. But outside the US, if you look at all geographies, they tend to be 1-year affairs. So yes, INSEAD and ISB are very good programs, but you have the IIMs in India, which are all offer 1-year executive MBAs. They are in name only, they're executive. They are full-time MBA programs, which are 1 year in duration. You have London Business School, which offers a 15-month, 18-month, 21-month exit options. So you can do it in 15 months. You have National University of Singapore, any top European school, all across the world, the MBAs tend to be 12 to 16-month affairs. It's only in North America, United States in particular, Canada as well, that the programs can be 2-year long. So that's one thing that you have to ask yourself. Do I want to study in that geography? And am I looking for those kind of 3 criteria? Am I looking for more than that? That's the way I would answer your question.
So you can actually connect with us individually, and I think over a call we can answer it better. And Ranjika,
yeah, I think that would be better. I think that would, because once I get to know you, then we can comment on whether you, what kind of programs you should look at.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
That we are cutting it a little short and stopping it in between, but I really have a hard stop right now. I have a session and that has already gotten a bit delayed. So we will answer all your questions. We are not here to cut short a session, just that I had planned it 11 to 1. So please excuse me right now. We'll answer every single question you might have over a call. Whosoever you want to connect with, we will first talk to Natasha and she will connect to the right people. For business school and applications sort of a direction, we'll give you a different person. If it is business, if it is about the exam, we'll give you a different person. You can also schedule a demo with me in which I'll talk to you one-on-one over a Zoom call, and we'll meet soon in that demo. All right. All the very best then, and thanks for joining in. I think it has been wonderful and very insightful questions you have asked as well. So pat yourselves on the back as well for keeping the session very engaging and insightful from your side as well. Thanks everyone, and see you soon. Bye-bye.